Hello, testing, testing, one, two, three. I don't know if you can see me because I've never done this outside before. And I've tied my microphone over some Cobra Jasper, one of my favourite stones. Beautiful. I was told to come on and tell my story by my spirit guides. And this was this morning, and afterwards I had a huge ego baby showed up. And it was a form of recreation. And if you listen to my podcast, you know I work with spirit animals very deeply. And one of my spirit animals is the camel. And it gives me practical instruction. But if I ignore it, it activates the shadow, which is unruliness and sunburn. And I've burnt myself and I was very unruly. And it was a form of recreation. I had to express my anger before I could come on here and talk. And then when I went back inside because I was getting sunburnt, I was in my bedroom, lying on my bed, and something started trying to crawl through a gap in the window. The gap's like this small. I had it open and jarred just so some air could come through. And I hear this scraping and this scraping. I didn't think anything of it. And then it opens the window and a blue tit flew into my bedroom and straight into my studio where I normally film. So I open up the bedroom window, open up my studio window, and then it flew downstairs to the kitchen. And I realised it was leading me outside to speak to you, to tell this story. And the fascinating thing about the blue tit is it's blue and yellow, which are the colours, the sacred colours of the sacred warrior. The throat chakra and the solar plexus, they protect the heart. And so I'm here to tell my story, and then I'm going to talk about why you won't believe me, because it sounds unbelievable. But nonetheless, I've been told to come on here and do this. I have to keep drinking water because I know I'm already sunburnt, so I don't want to be dehydrated as well. So something first I need to say I screwed up on Monday big time. If anybody watching this listens to Alison Coe's channel, she does what's it called? Quantum hypnosis healing technique. She's created by, I think, Dolores Cannon. And I've been a big fan of her channel because the channelings that have been on there of people's hypnosis has been brilliant. And I always thought one day it'd be great to go on there so I could tell my story. And my partner and I get onto the point where we've sacrificed everything because we didn't want to take the money. We didn't want to take the old money of the old way. So we've gone through this journey of purification where we left the old way, the old world, the matrix, the toxic patriarchy, the toxic matriarchy. When COVID hit in 2020, we just went in and we just left everything behind, left our jobs, friends, family, everything, and it's been really difficult. I got into the stage now where I have to laugh about it because I've cried too much. I've cried too much. We've almost run out of money. I've borrowed money off my mum. She was kind enough to give us the money to find somewhere to live so that we could start our new lives. And we've got like 500 quid left. And our rent is £2,000 plus bills, at least. And I spent 400 of our last pounds on a hypnosis session with Alison Coe, and I fucked it up because I was too scared to channel my higher self because of what he had to say. And this is the story that I want to share with you. So I'm not going to go into the whole story because it's too long, but let's just cut short right to 2020. So before 2020 was just trauma, just mountains of trauma, and me trying to get to a stage where I could go, okay, I need to do something about this. Now, fast forward to 2020, I had tried everything that I could think of to get to a stage where I was happy. And this is a story of innocence. This is everything that everyone is after: true love and innocence. The innocence that we had as children that we can live as adults. This is the reason we're here. And it's also a story of awakening, of course. But how I got there is how we got there is just almost unbelievable and quite difficult to comprehend through words. And I've had to learn how to feel it through vibration, which is easier for women than it is for men. And so I've gone through all these different ways of healing the abuse of life, not life, but what happened to me in my life, untold levels of violence, emotional, and all the Akashic stuff that goes back forever, which was dastardly horrible, horrible. And I met Hazel when I was at the end. I was at the end of it where I wanted to give up. And I wasn't looking for anything other than healing, happiness, joy, all of the things that we were all craving. But when I met her, she turned my world upside down, inside out, and back to front. Because like I said, I tried everything, but I got this intuition to sit in front of a woman and confess, so to speak, to confess my fears, my toxic shame, my hatred for myself, my hatred for my own humanity, my existence. Um, I was lying to myself that I thought I loved myself, but I wasn't showing that love to myself. I was violent to myself. I was ignorant to myself. And I realized these are all collective wounds. They weren't just mine. And I went deeper and deeper and deeper. And we sat opposite each other every day, like I'm sat opposite you now. I would say, Hazel, I'm suffering. What shall I do? And she would ask me, how do you feel? How do you feel in your heart? And I would say, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of life. I'm afraid of love. Terrified of it. And then she would say, me too. And we became best friends because we're both scared of love. And then we fell in love. That's obvious. But just because we fell in love, it didn't get easier. No, no, no. It did not get easier. It got more difficult because it was my wish to just be the purest man that ever lived. That was my wish. That was my wish to God. That was my wish to myself. So my wish to the universe. I wanted to be the purest man that's ever walked this earth. And so I was taken on a journey of integrity. The integrity of being a man, the integrity of being a human, and the integrity of my heart. And I took it really seriously, and I take it really seriously. And so that's why I had this huge purge earlier, because when when you become stagnant on the journey of healing, until you've completely and utterly surrendered to the new manifestation, which is on, it's just around the horizon, just around the corner. Until you do that, there's much work to be done. And if I denied that, it prevents me from everything. It prevents me from overcoming my fears of love. And I've met so many people in my life, and I've spoken to and helped a lot of you, and it's really strange because I look up to everyone. That's a really powerful lesson that I learned on this journey, is looking up to everyone, to look up to each other. And we've all fallen prey to it, the lies that are being sold to us at the moment. They're all illusions. And there's a new awakening available for everyone. I have to tell you this. This is available for you, this awakening, and I'm going to talk into a bit more about what does that mean. But there is a new train ready to leave, let's say. Train to love, the love train, yeah, the love train. Because Hazel and I, we caught the first one in 2020, and we have unlocked new levels of consciousness that have never been it's never been done before. And it's not just me saying that. Our spirit guides have told us this, because we've done it through divine union. We've done it as a pair in love, a man and a woman. This is the true prophecy of true love, the illumination of love. And the old guru, the old way of a guru, of a man sat under a tree, I'm sat in the garden, is no longer exists. There's a new, I channeled this freaking what? Well, I don't know how. You look at my earlier podcast. I did an episode on the frog, about the prophecy of the frog, about how we're not going to be fascinated with celebrities anymore, because the new celebrity is going to be healers. And it's not just one person that's part of the second coming. There's hundreds, thousands. There won't just be a sad guru or a or God, I forget all their names. There won't just be one guru. There won't just be five. There won't just be 10. It's going to be thousands, thousands of us. The whole world's changing, and people are like, "Well, where is it? Where is it? Why can't I see it? Why can't I hear it? Why can't I feel it?" And I totally get that, because I this is why I had to work with Hazel, because she's an awoke woman. She's an awoken woman, a real the real genuine article. And she awoke through the power of art, and I've witnessed her do things that I haven't even seen in movies, in sci-fi movies. And the only reason I was able to get this far is because of her. Because we can't do it alone, we have to do it together. We have to do it together. This is the culmination of the end of the war. The end of the war of humanity, of man against woman. To sacrifice our own toxic shame and to heal separation. That's what divine union is. It's to heal separation. And the reason we become afraid of love is because the wound has already been cut, and love comes in to heal the wound, and that hurts. Healing hurts. And so we lash out at that person trying to help us, trying to heal us. And I've been lashing out at myself. And we're all on the same journey. We just have different stories. And the journey is love. And true love isn't a fairy tale. It's real. And Hazel's actually ahead of me. I've met many men that think that they're ahead of their feminine partners, and I've had to explain to them how that's impossible. It's impossible. It's why men are so terrified and horrible towards women, because deep down, really deep unconscious collective wound of the masculine is we're scared of how magnificent women are. And their power, I understand why, their power is tremendous. Because we've been taught that the power comes through the mind, through the brain. It's not. It's the humble servants of the heart. She showed me the true power of the heart. It took me out into the universe. I've seen things that just made my jaw drop for minutes on end, and I've spoken about that numerous times. And so I'm telling this story because it's such a long story. But first, I have to humbly, I have to really not be hard on myself here, but I really need your help. We do. Like, I'm offering services on my website, and we really need the money. So if you need help with ascension, relationship issues, healing of narcissism, divine union, what's life all about, spirit animal wisdom, anything you'd want to ask God or Jesus or anything around any of my videos, anything, if you need help, check out my website, sacredrainbowwarrior.com, or I think I've got links for donations in the notes. I'll put them in there. But yeah, it's really hard to ask for money. We gave up everything. We didn't want to fall prey to this old financial system, which is going to collapse. We're trying to find a new way. We don't know what that way is yet, and we're trying to birth this awakening. I may look normal right now. My vibration is completely different, and I will change in appearance, but I can't show that. I can't show that right now because I'm not ready. My voice can change. There's so much about me that I'm not available to share yet because I'm not ready. It's taken us. Hazel had her awakening in 2021, and she's only just made a video on it. It's that sensitive. It's that sacred. And because we've had to sacrifice so much, we also had to unlearn everything. And I've had to relearn things that I've forgotten, like how to create, how to be a man. In the initiations that Spirit has taken me through have been challenging to say the least. And this is one of my challenges right now, to share the authenticity and integrity of my voice as an expression of who I am, to help you understand that the awakening's here, it's already available, but there's work to be done. You have to increase the vibration of the body in order to break out of it, to become something new. It's like the metamorphosis of the butterfly. Also, the book by Ovid, Metamorphosis. The front cover is the picture they use to describe Narcissus. And I say in all of my videos, the root of all evil, and evil's not a thing, but you know what I mean. Evil is the opposite spell of live. So it stops us from being alive, is living. And the root of that is narcissism. And it's possible to cure, but you have to go, you have to sit in it, you have to head towards it, you have to take responsibility for it. If we keep pointing the finger at each other, we will never realize that we're actually pointing the finger at ourselves and denying it. And once we heal narcissism, there will be peace on earth. I swear to you. I swear to you. I swear to you, when we heal narcissism together, there will be peace on earth. And right now, it feels like there's war because of the illusion of the mistranslation of what apocalypse means. It doesn't mean the end of the world physically. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to die. That's a choice. It means the destruction and death of the ego and everything it stands for, not love. And this whole planet is love. We're love. And anything that isn't love has to fall away, and that's the sacrifice. That's the most painful thing you can do. It's not whatever it's not. What I'm trying to say is that the sacrifice of the ego is probably the most difficult part of the journey, because it's like, well, I know exactly what it's like. You have to die spiritually, but it feels so real that we give ourselves, that I was giving myself, and I know a lot of other people go through this, like suicidal thoughts, right? Because it's an ego death, and every time there is an ego death, a part of you slips away so that more soul can move in. Anyway, the journey has been just so challenging. It's been so difficult, and I'm being asked to come out as my death, like a moth into the flame. I have to come out into the light to express who I truly am, which I'm going to have to do in steps to help humanity realize that the awakening is now. Don't keep looking out for flashes in the sky, or that the GFL are going to come down and beam you up and save you. You've got. I'm sorry, but you've got to do the inner work first, and it has to be done in divine union to really get anywhere. I spent a lot of time doing self work, but when I met Hazel, it was like lifetimes of work done in a few weeks. Lifetimes. It's just quantum leap. Anyway, I'm really appreciate you listening. And it's difficult to get people to listen because they don't believe it. And I said I would talk about that, so I'll finish on that. The reason you won't believe me, the reason you don't believe this, is because how do I put this into words? We've been taught to believe that everything that is available to us is on the outside. And so what I'm doing to you is I'm mirroring to you in the best way I can through vibration what is available for you internally. And it will shatter all of your illusions and bring you enormous amounts of joy and depth. It will activate your soul, your innate, your DNA, the hidden DNA, the damaged DNA, the hijacked DNA, all of the DNA that makes us express who we are as human beings in our full potential. And I'm here turning up to show people how to do that, and that's what my services are about. Soul Ascension. Hazel didn't want me to call it coaching because everybody's calling themselves a coach, but that's essentially what it is. It's mastery of showing you the signs, and it's quite straightforward, but it's really difficult. And the only reason I can teach that and guide that is because I've been through it, and I made all the mistakes so that you don't have to. And that's my service to humanity. And it was really painful for my ego to accept that, because I'm like, hey, I have to do all the work. What about them? But this is the sacrifice I have to make. I'm going to help you make shortcuts in your journey to avoid the pitfalls that I had to go through, where I nearly killed myself on several occasions. And the biggest pitfalls are saying no to love. You have to say yes to love, even when it feels impossible. And just by saying yes, just for choosing for love, you will overcome that pitfall. Some you'll overcome them instantly. Some it will take years. Some it will take weeks. And from going inside so deep with my partner, she had to guide me to go that deep, because for a man to go that deep is dangerous, and for a woman to go that high without a man is also dangerous. So we had to guide each other. And because she's took me so deep, it's taken me a long time to come out and trust that I'm not going to be killed, to be beaten. Well, a big bumblebee. To be beaten and killed, because throughout all my lifetimes, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, and including this one, every time I express the joy of who I am, I would get attacked, and I'm being vulnerable, sharing that. And because I've been vulnerable enough to share that and acknowledge that within me, that heals me. And if it heals me, then I don't attract that energy. This is what I talk about in some of my videos, the law of attraction. If we are feeling a negative energy towards ourselves or towards others, it attracts that energy. That is the law of attraction. And you can only attract the positive light gift that replaces that. This is through Ascension, by acknowledging that and letting it go. But most of us believe that if we share that, we'll either be humiliated or it will come true. Both are lies. Both have happened to me, yes, but they are illusions which prevent you from accepting who you are. That's why it's so important to work with somebody who knows how to hold space for you and isn't going to humiliate you, who isn't going to judge you, who isn't going to make you question your choices. So I really welcome people taking up my services so I can earn some money, so that we can make the dream come true, not just for us, but for all of humanity. We're creating things that we need to birth into this world, which is so powerful. Hazel's Oracle deck is the new Oracle deck. It's like the new, if the Thoth was 4-dimension, hers is hers is 9th dimensional. It's got the encodings for the new human in it. I'm the first person after her to receive that, and she's encoded it in the art. You have to go through the initiations, and there's 60 kits. Unfortunately, there are 72 cards, and I've had to go through every single one of them. So if you want to know how to take the journey, sign up. Sign up so we can make it come true and help you meet us eye to eye so that we can change the world together. I really mean that. Let the new way begin. Hazel and I will be doing a joint video as well on our Prophecy Walkers channel. She's finding it very difficult to find her voice and come out because she's also very sensitive. So really appreciate all of your kind and positive comments. It means so much to us. Like whenever I get a comment, I'm like, Hazel, I got a comment. They're being really nice again. Because when I first started out, I got so much abuse. It really upset me because I'm a human. I have a heart. I'm really tired. I've had a really long day, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to do more of these videos. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.